So here's the inherent problem. If I would say I'm a 6'2" blonde supermodel, you agree with that statement? I know my husband does, but does that make it true?
I'm not sure he'll tell you because you're sitting down, but I'm assuming you're not
I
blonde.
look like a 6'2" blonde supermodel?
No.
Okay. But I identify as one, okay? Just because I identify as one doesn't make it true, but let's go ahead and say for a moment it's true. The issue that I have for the young girls is you can live in your reality. You can live in your reality. But when your reality intrudes on my safety and puts another person at harm or in harm's way, that's when I have a problem with it.
I also
The gentlelady's time has
I
expired.
also want to acknowledge your
The gentlelady's time has
acknowledgement of
expired. I now
Madam Chair,
recognize
do we not have a-
Miss
You
McClain
spoke for over
from
a minute
Michigan.
more
Point of
than
order.
your allocated
You
time.
took a minute of my time, wasting my time on a non-point of order. The gentlelady's
Madam
time has
Chair, the
expired. I now
clock was not
recognize
running during the
Miss
point of
McClain
order.
from
Point of order.
Your
Michigan.
time was not wasted. And to the trans
I now
community,
recognize
we
Miss McClain
stand
from-
with you, with the
Madam.
LGBTQ plus community. We stand with you, and you can
Madam
break
Chair.
my eardrums all you want, Madam Chair, but we stand with the LGBTQ plus community, and you can gavel me till
Order. This
cows come
hearing
home
will
and it
come to
won't
order.
stop it.
This hearing will come to order.
Madam
You
Chair, I have a
This
question.
hearing will come to order.
Madam Chair, I
This
just-
hearing will come to order. I now recognize
a point of order.
Ms. McClain
I
from
just
Michigan.
have a point of order.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let me tell you,
Madam Chair, I
Yeah.
had a
What's your
point of order. Could we just have the timekeeper, log the time between both the Democrats and Republicans, and then we rebalance them so that we each have equal time? That's pretty basic.
We will consider that. Thank you.
No,
But
no, no,
stop.
no, 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 no. That's-
You took
that's-
a minute of my time.
that's
All
not a
right, okay.
suggestion. Those are the
Enough,
rules.
Enough.
No, 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 no.
You're wasting your
Hey,
time.
look,
That's
either,
not.
either we go
We
by
are
the rules
keeping
or
equal
we're
time.
out of here.
We're keeping equal time.
The door's
okay.
open.
Miss
All right.
McClain from Michigan is now recognized.
thank you, Madam Chair. Let me tell you what I'm here for. I'm here to protect women and girls. And for all of you young women and girls watching today, I hear you. I hear your stories. I hear your bullying stories. I hear your uncomfortableness. Because you see, sometimes young women and girls get trampled over. But let me tell you what I'm here for. I'm here as a mother and as a coach and as an athlete to stand up for the rights of women and especially young girls. That's what I'm here for. And in 1972, Title IX of the Education Amendments prohibits gender discrimination in all educational programs receiving federal funds. And I'm here today because women have had to fight for every God-given right, and I'll be damned if we're going to go back on that. When biological men invade women's spaces, our rights are violated, and our spaces are violated. Now, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle constantly talk about following the science, but this makes it clear that this is merely a disingenuous slogan. So let's follow the science for a moment. Not opinions, but science. So, Ms. Graves, what is the average difference in skeletal muscle between biological men and biological women?
So I'm definitely not a scientist, but I can tell you about the studies that have been done looking at transgender athletes, cisgender athletes.
It's a great answer to a
And
question I didn't ask, so perhaps I can help you.
So the answer, I think where you're trying to go is there an inherent
Is there a
advantage for
biological
transgender
difference
women in
between men and
sports
women?
In all contexts, and the answer is no.
Okay,
right now.
okay.
The answer is no.
Okay, let
And
me
so
educate
and
you.
the reason
Okay,
that I can tell you
reclaiming
that
my
the
time.
answer is no is because UCLA has studied this. They did a study of studies.
The gentlewoman's reclaimed her time. Ms. McClain's recognized.
So I'll educate you. I'll tell you, men have 30 to 40% more skeletal muscle than biological women. That's not right. That's not wrong. That just is what it is. I was going to ask you what is the difference in upper body strength, but I don't think you know that either. So I'll answer that question for you as well. Biological men exhibit 20 to 50% greater upper body strength, and 25 to 30% lower body strength than biological women. That's just the science. Ms. Graves, you stated your organization's mission is to ensure safety and opportunity for all girls. Was Peyton McNabb safe on September 1st of 2022?
It sounds like she definitely wasn't. And
Thank
what
you.
happened to her was tragic. I would argue, though,
Thank
that the answer is to ensure that people can't spike volleyballs into people's heads. That seems unsafe.
Thank
no
you
matter
for your
who's
answer,
spiking
Ms.
the ball.
Graves. So I will reclaim my time on that. So here's the inherent problem. If I would say I'm a 6'2" blonde supermodel, you agree with that statement? I know my husband does, but does that make it true?
I'm not sure he'll tell you because you're sitting down, but I'm assuming you're not blonde.
Look like a 6'2" blonde supermodel?
No.
Okay. But I identify as one, okay? Just because I identify as one doesn't make it true, but let's go ahead and say for a moment it's true. The issue that I have for the young girls is you can live in your reality. You can live in your reality. But when your reality intrudes on my safety and puts another person at harm or in harm's way, that's when I have a problem with it. When you want to live in your distorted reality, you can do that. But that doesn't mean everybody else has to do that either. Because I will ask you one other question. Can a 43-year-old man identify as a 13-year-old boy? Ms. Graves?
Can a 40?
Can a 43-year-old man live in his reality of identifying as a 13-year-old boy?
So this question makes me understand that you.
No, this question is a question that you need to answer that you refuse. If we're going to be who we want to be, can a 43-year-old man identify as a 13-year-old boy?
The witness can answer, but the gentlelady's time's expired.
So here's the thing. It is
It's
absolutely.
a yes or no.
So I'm hoping that some people are watching, and so that's why I'm trying to provide some.
There's the gentlelady's time's expired. This is a yes or no question.
Okay. I would have loved to give a fuller answer. Here is my answer to you. The answer is no, that an adult can't be a child.
Why they identify as
Yeah.
one?
Okay. Thank you
And
very
if there
much.
is- but
Thank
if
you
you'd like me
for
to
answering the
provide
question.
a
The gentlelady's
fuller
time's
answer,
expired.
I'm
I now
really happy to
recognize
do that.
the witness will suspend.